Hi, my name is Wendley and welcome to another gesture drawing critique video. This time we're going to look at Moey's drawings, which he sent me to receive some feedback on. So let's get started. Let me reduce the opacity so I can more easily draw over them. Now, first of all, I must say, Moey, I recall seeing your earlier drawings, and you have definitely improved a lot. You have put a lot of effort in learning how to combine form and shape to achieve more interesting designs in your drawings. So that's definitely good. And of course, you want to know how to get better, so that's what I'm going to attempt to help you with in this video. Let me start with this one. The first thing that I notice here is that you are, what's the best way to put it? Well, let me say it like this: you should use longer lines to build up your drawings with. I see a lot of uh, bits and pieces of line, and that is killing the fluidity in your drawings. So I would go for something longer like this to start with. Around to the knee, and you would have the leg down here. The other leg, knee, going, where are we going behind? Something like that. Okay, so use longer line to convey your ideas. That's really the point that I am making here. You can build on the rib cage, the belly. His crotch area would be somewhere around here. Put in the hip bones for some structure. We would have this leg. And maybe give him, because it seems like the way you drew it, it seems like he's he's in the action of turning his shoulder, rotating his torso in this direction. So you could definitely emphasize that by putting a little more energy in the turn, So really come in with your line and feel what's happening. And again, notice for the arm, I'm not breaking the line of the arm in bits and pieces. I'm going for a long line that is capturing the action over the wrist. Actually, let me zoom in a little bit. Just notice that I was uh, oftentimes when I work, I start zoomed out like that so that I don't get caught up in the details. And only when I have uh, the whole post established, I would zoom in and start refining. But for the purposes of giving you a clear picture of what I'm doing, it's better for me to zoom in, even at this early stage. So you've got the fingers here, which are uh, the gestures is really clear for me what is happening. So that's definitely good. So really, my only critique with this pose is to use longer lines to build. Going over. this. And a bit of fall in there. Then you add the clavicles. Like this shoulder should be sticking out just a little more. Start sculpting in the forearm muscles. This goes to the back. The mistake that I see a lot of artists make is that they make this shoulder area flat. You have to remember that it is not flat. There is thickness um, from here to here. So take into account that uh, there is roundness. Think of a cylinder actually. Think of the top of the rib cage as a cylinder. Think that will help you to not fall into the trap of uh, flattening out that area. So get rid of that arrow. Let me see this. We want the head to connect fluidly with the rest of the figure. We don't want the head be to feel detached. So I'm looking for the rhythmic connection of the head and the torso. Let's see, something like this. I think. Since it's rotating his upper torso, I think if you add a bit of tilt to the head, it would help to make it look and feel more natural and more interesting also. And a bit of dimension. Got the trapezius. Now what I'm doing now is just a little bit more of detailing, but it's not detailing just for the sake of detail. I'm adding in the details that are helping me describe the action more clearly. The shoulder muscle there. And from here it's just really can just really continue refining and building on what you have. I quickly block in an ear just to give a better sense of orientation to the head. Okay, so let me see what else we have got here. I'm actually seeing something in this one, but I think I can better point it out. I see that you are attempted to use asymmetrical shapes to create more uh, interesting design, which is a good thing. The only thing you need to uh, be cautious with is to not kill the fluidity in your drawings. So you really need to find a balance between rhythm, shape, and form for your drawings for you to get the best results. So let me see. Uh, Let me actually just draw over it. Makes it easier for me to assess it. We've got this curve here, then at the front, which then picks up here. I'm going a bit around the top of the torso, or top of the rib cage, I mean. because it's not flat, it's three-dimensional. Around. This area was a little flat. It's a little bit more roundness. And when I draw this line, I'm really thinking about this whole ellipse, the same as this side. I'm just not drawing the whole thing. I'm visualizing it, and I just draw the portion that I need for the drawing. Gonna move this here. It's more comfortable for my arm to draw. So we have knee, foot. Now that I'm looking at it, let me see, because when you're drawing the figure, you need to take balance into account. This is the leg that is bearing the most weight, so this hip should be higher up than this one. Should be a bit lower, something like this. Then you would have this leg out here. The question is, what is this leg doing? Let's say it's stretched out. Go over the ankle. Give me a sense of volume. Seems like I made that leg a bit too long. No, she doesn't feel like she's standing on a ground plane or something like that, so let me attempt to do something else. When you're capturing the gesture, you really need to stay loose. Don't fall in love with any part of your drawing. Just keep everything should be subject to change. Quickly blocking the calf there. Somewhat better. The rib cage, center line. Let's see. As you can see here, I'm primarily drawing the natural rhythms of the body, and then I build shape and form on top. Because like I said in previous videos, the human body, the design of the human body is based on a rhythm. So you can't get around it if you want to draw fluid figures. So that's always the first thing that I'm thinking about and looking for. See, you did something very nice with the hands here, but I'm not going to go into all the details. Just need a general sense of what is happening. Then you have other arm, just stretching this direction over the wrist. Mhm. Thinking about the proportions. Well, this is just our first pass anyway. I mean, can always come and refine the overall drawing afterwards. Um, Let me see. How does the head and neck connect here? What I'm missing in this head is a better sense of perspective, actually. Let me see. It goes, yeah, the way that you drew the torso, I have the, it gives me the feeling that we're looking up at this figure, and the position of the head kind of flattens that out the way you drew it. So let's say that these are the perspective guidelines. She's standing on the floor, something like that. Then the eye line should be like this. We have the center line of the face, the corner of the head. Got the ear. This gives a better sense of perspective, which is definitely something you need to take into account when you're drawing the figure. The figure exists in a 3D space, unless you're drawing it from a flat view, of course, which is also possible. Was just pay attention to keep things consistent when it comes to the camera angle, the viewpoint. Um, okay, so my main point with this one was when you are working with shapes, make sure to balance it with rhythm and form. All three of them must work together in order for you to uh, get the best results. Um, this one, you started something really nice. I like the fluidity that you've captured in the back of the figure here. The only thing is it kind of gets uh, things start getting disconnected when you come down to the hips and the legs. Go over, then it goes into the heels, top of the foot, the bottom. Something like this. So I'm looking for connections. I'm looking for rhythm. You have one curve here which goes into, actually this whole leg can be considered one long curve, which is coming into the heel, and then the heel goes into the top of the foot and to the bottom of the foot. I always look for the pattern of rhythm first, and then I start building my shapes and masses on top. Thinking about the hip bones, the gluteus muscles and how they connect to the leg. And putting a straight at the opposite of the curves, which starts giving me a basis for designing interesting shapes. Okay, so this would be the bottom of the upper leg. And you gave him kind of big calf muscles, so I'm going to stay with that. Around, just blocking in the calf muscles as simple shapes at this point. Then you would have like the, if it's called the quadriceps muscles. I'm looking for the connection of this leg with the other one. It's the knee, the outside of the calf. It goes into the heel. You have the foot there. And putting a straight at the opposite of my curves to give me a basis to design my shapes and forms on top. And then you have the calf muscle this side. And that's really more detailed work at this point. Don't wanna go too much into that. Let's see. To have the arms maybe out over the wrist. Just speeding up a little bit so don't take too long. And when I'm giving feedback, I slow down a little bit so that people can better see and understand what I'm doing. So if I go too fast, you might not really understand what is going on. Let me see. Maybe this arm is like coming out. Then you have the head, the neck, I mean. It's a bit hidden there. You have the ear. You can put in the trapezius muscles. Over. Alright, so for this one again, use longer lines, look for rhythm, look for the pad of rhythm through the body first, and then it will give you a basis to build your shapes and forms on top. And rhythm really maintains connectivity and fluidity throughout the whole figure, because the moment you start breaking the pad of rhythm, you start getting parts that feel disconnected from the whole. And the body works as a unit. That's an important thing to remember. The body works as one unit, and you want to maintain that same connectivity in your drawings, just like it happens in reality. Let me see if there is something more that I notice here. For this one goes the same as this one in terms of perspective. Uh, it seems like you want us to look down at the figure, but when it comes to the legs, that starts getting lost. I mean, even in a quick sketch, in a loose drawing, um, you want to be what's the best way to say it? You want to pay attention to basic things like perspective and structure and such. It doesn't have to be super tight, but uh, you don't want to be sloppy with it. Okay, so say go over the hips. Mm, see around the ankles. That give me a sense of volume. As I'm drawing, I'm thinking about these guidelines. I might not always draw them, but at a certain point when you draw these construction lines and stuff enough, you just start automatically visualizing them. Let's see, this ankle would be around here. Would have a foot there maybe. Feels a little flat. Okay, so we have the arm here and holding the hips. I'm just blocking it in very loosely at this point. This arm. Thinking about the placement of the shoulder blades, which I always use to help me to properly connect the arms when I'm drawing the figure from the back. See, I maybe gave her a little tilt since she's looking up at us. Tilt the head a little bit. Since most of the pose is so straight, giving the head a different angle will add a little more interest, and it also makes the head more of a focal point because of contrast, because it's different than the rest. Everything is more straight and the head is more at an angle. See, the hair will be falling this way because of gravity. Something like this. Over. The eye. She's smiling. Okay, so just pay attention to the perspective and to maintain consistency in that. Otherwise, you start flattening out some parts of your drawing. Um, Let me see. So that's basically what I wanted to say about your drawings. And again, you have definitely improved a lot. Um, I would say keep seeking the balance between rhythm, shapes, and form. Yeah, it's something that takes practice. I mean, I didn't learn all this stuff overnight, so you're definitely on the good way, on the good track. Uh, just keep in mind to use longer lines when you're drawing the figure. Don't uh, break down things in little bits and pieces. You know, be bold and clear with what you want to say. If you want uh, a long line, go for a long line. Okay, so I hope this feedback is useful to you, and if you guys like these videos, please leave a like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. So bye bye.